Crossover movies like Freddy vs. Jason or Alien vs. Predator take characters from two different franchises and pair them up, establishing the characters as co-inhabitants of the same cinematic universe. But some movie crossovers are so subtle you might have missed them entirely. For example, Spy Kids and Machete. That's right, the gadget-creating uncle from Robert Rodriguez's Spy Kids series is the same dude who later goes on a mission for vengeance and blood in the violent Machete and Machete Kills movies, also helmed by Rodriguez. In Spy Kids and its sequels, Danny Trejo's Uncle Machete and his collection of super cool spy gadgets comes to the aid of the Cortez children against a variety of enemies. In 2007, Rodriguez teamed up with Quentin Tarantino for the horror double feature Grindhouse, which had fake trailers for non-existent movies, including one for Machete.
I cost the most, because I'm the best there is.
After making the trailer, Rodriguez decided to go ahead and give Uncle Machete his own full-length movie, a rare case of PG and R-rated films sharing the same universe. Trading Places and Coming to America. In 1983's Trading Places, Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy are forced to switch lives through the orchestrations of the nefarious broker brothers Randolph and Mortimer Duke. The movie ends with the Duke brothers' business ruined, leaving them destitute. 5 years later, another Eddie Murphy movie would show us what became of the Dukes after their downfall. In 1988's Coming to America, Murphy is a different character, an incredibly wealthy prince who travels to the United States in search of a bride who will love him for who he is rather than for his money. To further that goal, the prince gives all his remaining money to a pair of homeless men who turn out, somehow, to be the Duke brothers.
Mortimer, we're back.
Star Wars and E.T. This sci-fi crossover was deliberately planned by both Steven Spielberg and George Lucas. First, there's a scene from E.T. where the kids encounter a kid dressed in a Yoda costume, reminding E.T. of where he came from. That's obviously not the real ancient Jedi, but E.T. clearly recognizes the guy. Spielberg's buddy Lucas returned the favor in 1999, when he included a delegation of E.T. aliens as members of the Galactic Senate. According to an extended universe novella, the aliens are known as Asagians, and their leader in the Senate was named Greblieps, Spielberg spelled backwards. The Rules of Attraction and American Psycho. If you're familiar with the source material for these two very different movies, then you probably already know the connection between The Rules of Attraction and American Psycho, both based on Bret Easton Ellis novels. If you're not, then here's a brief explanation. James Van Der Beek's Sean Bateman in 2002's The Rules of Attraction is actually the younger brother of Christian Bale's Patrick Bateman from 2000's American Psycho. Patrick was supposed to make a brief appearance in The Rules of Attraction, played by another actor, but all of his scenes were cut before the movie was released. The Lone Ranger and the Green Hornet. While it can't be acknowledged openly today on screen by either of the characters, the Lone Ranger and the Green Hornet are actually related. In the early radio serials, it was established that Britt Reed, the Green Hornet, was the descendant of John Reed, the Lone Ranger. Depending on the source, John is described as either Britt's uncle or great-uncle. Much later, the properties were sold to different studios, so the characters can't intermingle on the big screen. But while movie crossovers are out, the comic book rights are a slightly different story. In 2016, Dynamite Comics obtained the rights to both characters and published a crossover comic book series that explores their familial connection. Tarantino's dual cinematic universes. For years, movie fans have speculated that all of Quentin Tarantino's movies take place within the same universe, and Tarantino himself confirmed in 2016 that the theory is mostly correct. There are actually two universes within his films. One is the real world in which many of the characters live, and the other is the movie world, containing films that the people in the real world would go and see. As Tarantino explains, so when all the characters of Reservoir Dogs or Pulp Fiction, when they go to the movies, Kill Bill is what they go to see. From Dusk Till Dawn is what they see. The logic isn't airtight, but here's just one example. In Pulp Fiction, actress Mia Wallace, played by Uma Thurman, says she was in a TV pilot about female secret agents where she plays the deadliest woman in the world with a knife, a reference to Thurman's character, the bride in Kill Bill. This means that drug-addled Mia Wallace cleaned up her act to play the bride within the Tarantino universe, making Kill Bill more than just a spiritual sequel to Pulp Fiction. Thanks for watching. Click the looper icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, Check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.